The mansion was so quiet that even the ticking of the antique wall clock felt loud, each second echoing through the marble halls like a reminder of how alone Mr. Armand Vale truly was. Despite being one of the richest men in the city, wealth had built him walls of glass and steel, but not a single bridge to trust. Years of betrayal, partners who vanished with millions, relatives who smiled while plotting, friends who stayed only as long as his money flowed had carved a permanent doubt into his heart. That doubt followed him everywhere, even into his own home, where servants moved silently like shadows. Among them was Lena, the maid. She was middle-aged, soft-spoken, and almost invisible, the kind of woman people rarely noticed unless something went missing. She had worked in the mansion for 7 years, cleaning rooms that held fortunes while earning just enough to survive. Armand noticed everything, though. The way she never lingered near expensive objects. The way she avoided eye contact. The way she quietly folded his clothes with care as if they were sacred. Still, suspicion does not need evidence. It only needs fear. One evening, after another tense board meeting where Armand discovered someone had leaked confidential information, his mind returned to a thought that had been growing darker by the day. What if the betrayal is inside my own house? That night, standing alone in his private study, surrounded by oil paintings and shelves of rare books, Armand made a decision that would change both his life and Lena's forever. He walked to the large steel safe hidden behind a painting, one that held stacks of cash, gold bars, and documents worth more than most people's lives, and slowly turned the dial. The door opened with a low metallic sigh. He stared at its contents, then deliberately stepped back and left it open. No alarm, no camera adjustment, nothing. It was a trap. He wanted to see who would fall for it. The next morning, sunlight poured into the mansion as Lena arrived earlier than usual. Her feet ached from walking to work, her hands rough from years of cleaning, and her heart heavy with worries she never shared. Rent overdue, her husband's medicine, her daughter's school fees. As she dusted the hallway near the study, she noticed something strange. The door was slightly open. Lena froze. She had never been allowed inside without permission. Her breath caught when she realized what she was seeing. The safe open. Her eyes widened, not with greed but with fear. Her first instinct was to turn away, to pretend she saw nothing. But then her mind filled with terrifying thoughts. What if someone else comes in and blames me? What if I lose this job? What if they think I stole something? She stood there trembling, her heart pounding so loudly she felt Armand might hear it from wherever he was watching. And he was watching. From the security room, Armand's eyes were fixed on the monitor. He leaned forward, jaw tight, pulse steady, waiting. This was the moment. He imagined Lena glancing around, slipping a stack of cash into her apron, proving that no one, no matter how quiet or poor, could be trusted when temptation whispered loud enough. The seconds stretched. Lena stepped closer. Armand's fingers curled into fists. But instead of reaching inside the safe, Lena did something that made his brows knit in confusion. She backed away, slowly. She crossed herself, whispered something under her breath, maybe a prayer, and then hurried down the hallway. Armand scoffed. Acting, he muttered. She'll come back. Minutes passed. Then Lena returned, but not alone. She was holding a small cleaning bell, the kind used to alert homeowners. She rang it softly but urgently, her voice shaking as she called out, Sir, please. I think something is wrong. Armand's heart skipped, not with relief, but irritation. He stayed hidden, still watching. Lena stood at the doorway, refusing to enter the study. I didn't touch anything, she said aloud to the empty room, her eyes wet. I swear on my children. The safe is open. Someone might steal. Please check. Her knees weakened, and she sat on the floor outside the study, guarding the door like a sentry, her thin body positioned between the open safe and the rest of the house. Time passed. She didn't move. Not once did she look inside again. Armand felt something unfamiliar stir in his chest, unease. This wasn't how the story was supposed to go. Lena's shift ended, but she stayed. Noon came, then afternoon. She skipped lunch, ignoring her hunger, her only concern that the owner's fortune remain untouched. If this story's already making your heart beat faster, the narrator would softly say here, remember to subscribe, because sometimes the greatest twists come from the quietest souls. Finally, Armand could no longer sit still. He left the security room and walked toward the study. As his footsteps echoed, Lena looked up, startled, scrambling to her feet. Panic flooded her face. "Sir, I'm so sorry," she cried. "I didn't know what to do. I didn't touch anything, I swear. I was scared someone would blame me." Her voice broke, years of silent fear spilling out in that moment. Armand looked past her into the study at the untouched safe. Everything was exactly as he had left it. Not a single bill disturbed. The trap had failed, but not the way he expected. He dismissed her with a stiff nod. Lena bowed repeatedly, apologizing as if she had committed a crime by being honest. When she left, Armand locked the safe and sank into his chair. His hands were shaking. For the first time in years, his test had not exposed a thief. It had exposed his own cruelty. He had placed temptation in front of someone who had every reason to take it, and she had chosen fear, honesty, and duty instead. Outside, Lena walked home exhausted, unaware that her quiet decision had cracked something deep inside. A man who thought money could measure character. And as the mansion doors closed behind her, Armand stared at the ceiling, haunted by a question that would not let him rest. If she can protect what isn't hers while having nothing, what kind of man am I? This was only the beginning. Because what Armand would do next, after discovering the truth of Lena's life, would leave him in tears and change both of their destinies forever.